10 Psychological Contradictions. Dunning-Kruger Effect versus Impostor Syndrome. Contradiction. Some people overestimate their abilities, Dunning-Kruger Effect, while others underestimate themselves and feel like imposters, Impostor Syndrome. Example. A person with limited knowledge in a certain field may be confident in their abilities, while an expert might be more modest in assessing their achievements. Conformity versus social nonconformity. Contradiction. People tend to conform to social norms, conformity, but there's also a desire to be unique and nonconformist, social nonconformity. Example. A group of friends might decide to adopt similar clothing styles, conformity, while an individual expresses their personality through nonconformist clothing. Genetic determinism versus environmental influence. Contradiction. Some traits and behaviors are influenced by genetic predispositions, genetic determinism, but the environment we grow up in and our interactions can modify these traits, environmental influence. Example. Musical talents can be genetically inherited, but with practice and proper training, someone can overcome initial limitations. Instinct theory versus learning theory. Contradiction. Instinct theory suggests behaviors are biologically programmed, instincts, while learning theory suggests they're acquired through experience, learning. Example. A child might naturally be inclined to fear heights, instinct, but their experiences over time can determine how strong that fear becomes. External motivation versus internal motivation. Contradiction. People can be motivated by external rewards, external motivation, as well as personal satisfaction and interest in the activity, internal motivation. Example. An employee might be motivated to work harder for a bonus, external motivation, but also because they take pride in their contribution to the company, internal motivation. Emotional repression versus emotional release. Contradiction. Sometimes, people repress emotions to adapt to social situations, emotional repression, while other times, it's encouraged to freely express emotions for mental health, emotional release. Example. In a formal work environment, someone might repress strong emotions for the sake of professionalism, emotional repression, but in a therapeutic setting, releasing these emotions can reduce stress and anxiety, emotional release. Repressed memory versus memory fabrication. Contradiction. Painful or traumatic memories can be repressed and forgotten, repressed memory, but at the same time, memories can be distorted or created based on context, memory fabrication. Example. Someone might have vague memories of a traumatic childhood event that they repressed to cope with intense emotions. However, research shows that memories can be influenced by suggestions or incorrect contexts, leading to false memories. Freudian theory versus cognitive behavioral approaches. Contradiction. Sigmund Freud's theory emphasizes the influence of the past and unconscious factors on human behavior, Freudian theory, while cognitive and behavioral approaches focus on present factors and how thoughts and behaviors influence emotions, cognitive behavioral approaches. Example. Freud might interpret a phobia as a result of childhood events, while a cognitive behavioral therapist would explore how anxious thoughts can contribute to the phobia and how they can be changed. Authenticity versus self-presentation. Contradiction. Sometimes, people express authenticity in interactions, authenticity, but there are moments when we adopt a facade to present ourselves favorably or avoid negative judgments, self-presentation. Example. On a first date, someone might want to be seen as open and positive, so they might hide moments of sadness or stress, self-presentation, while with close friends, they might be more honest about their emotional state, authenticity. Human nature. Egoism versus altruism. Contradiction. People can act to fulfill their own needs and interests, egoism, but there's also a deep capacity to help and support others without expecting rewards, altruism. Example. An individual might donate to a charity to feel good and enhance their self-image, egoism, but they might also help a stranger in need without personal expectations, altruism.